game. We're at Pikeville for the Pikeville Panthers taking on the visiting Prestonsburg Black Cats. Tonight is Sports Hall of Fame induction night at Pikeville, so we do have some inductees that has just concluded, and we have Charlie Pinson down on the field, and some controversy here around the Pikeville Panther team, as leading the Panthers tonight will be Chris McNamee, as Coach Chapman not here, and I'm not sure if this suspension is temporarily or what his status is. Charlie, can you give us any information?
Well, Barry, I have not heard anything down here yet. I've talked to a couple of the players and a couple of the coaches, and they really don't know what's going on themselves. They said it's just been a confusion all day long. There's been a lot of rumors going around, but I've not really got anything nailed down.
Charlie, we had heard that some of the kids here at Pikeville, or maybe the practice earlier today, they conducted it themselves. Have you heard anything to that effect?
They've not said anything like that, but I'll tell you, the kids are out here, and they've got some leaders that have showed up and are trying to take control, and some of the older kids are trying to act like coaches on the field today. I talked to Chris McNamee, and he said that really they're going to coach by committee today because they don't know exactly what's going on. I've not heard any kind of announcement or anything that there's going to be an announcement.
So you don't foresee any changes in the type offense they will run, or any major changes from Coach Chapman's philosophy?
No, I don't think we'll see any changes because, Chris is actually the defensive coordinator, so I'd look for the defense to stay the same, and it's too hard to change an offense of this type this late into the season. They've already practiced on it all summer, so the kids are ready to execute it, and I don't think that they would be ready to change overnight like that. We'll probably see some changes, but I think those will be reflected from the ball game from last Saturday night.
Of course, last Saturday night right here at Pikeville, we saw a very strong Boyle County team come away with the victory over Pikeville. Let's send it back to the station, and we'll be right back on the Intermountain Sports Network. Welcome back to the W.C. Hambly Athletic Complex, as Pikeville Panthers are ready to do battle with Prestonsburg Black Cats, and I'm Barry Boyd again. I'd like to welcome the newest member of our sports team, Joe Adkins.
Thank you, Barry.
You're getting off to a good start here, as this should be a good game. And we're just moments away, as it looks as if the officials, Keith Henry and his crew, ready to meet with the captains, and we're ready for the coin toss shortly. Of course, the Black Cats are coached by John DeRosset, and I talked with Coach DeRosset a little earlier. They are a young team, but expect big things out of them a little later on. He indicated that at this time, they may not be in, well, I guess, Joe, in good playing form due to lack of experience, as he lost several key players to graduation.
Yeah, he mentioned that. He also has the players he's got returning are pretty good, though. I mean, you got Jeremy Cottle coming back. He's been ranked in the state in some columnists, and I mean, he's going around that.
Jeremy Cottle is one of the top 4 candidates for Mr. Football in the state of Kentucky, and as the coin toss is taking place right now at midfield. And the coin toss has been won by Pikeville. And of course they did choose to receive, so Pikeville will have possession when we get this one underway. Let's take a short break and we'll be right back. This is the Intermountain Sports Network. We're back, and rather a large crowd on hand here tonight, as both of these teams do have a good following, and this is somewhat of a rivalry, as the Prestonsburg-Pikeville game is always a big one, Joe. Yes. Both these teams want to come away with the win, and as much for bragging rights as anything else.
Yeah, it's kind of like bragging rights of Route 23, you could say. Both schools right off of it.
They are. The only difference in this rivalry is it's rather similar in nature to the rivalry between Pikeville and Belfry within the county, as Pikeville Panthers are on the field and Prestonsburg teeing the ball up. Kicking for the Black Cats will be number 48. Jeremy Cottle. He also handles the kicking chores.
He's one, I guess you'd do it all man for Prestonsburg.
As you said, Coach DeRossett does have some good athletes, and he uses Jeremy Cottle in a lot of situations. We have Jeremy listed as, of course, he plays defensive end, and on offense, he plays the fullback position. But in this case, he's handling the kicking chores. Dropping back deep for the Pikeville Panthers will be Jeremiah Akers, along with
Barrett Rogers.
Barrett Rogers. And this one is just seconds away as Cottle set to approach the ball. And here's the kick. Very short kick, and it's going to go out of bounds around the 40-yard line. So excellent field position, as Jeremy just appeared as if he missed it on that one, Joe.
Kind of went right off the side of his foot there.
So the actual spot will be the 41. Excellent field position for the Panthers.
Let's see if Pikeville takes advantage of this starting right off the gate.
As under the center will be Matt Branham. He has wideouts to both sides. Runs a man in motion. Now they go into the I. Jeremiah Akers goes in motion. Handoff goes to Rogers, and nothing there, as Rogers is stood up at the line of scrimmage. Host of tacklers there for the Black Cats, as Barrett Rogers with nowhere to go.
I think Pikeville's just trying to show that they can run the ball, but looks like they've got that penalty on them. Going to lose them some yardage.
They are, as I believe, Charlie, that was a motion penalty, wasn't it?
Yeah, Barry, he was on the end on this side. He jumped a little bit before the snap.
So 1st and 15 for the Panthers, as again Akers in motion. Handoff will go again to Rogers, and he's going nowhere. Stacked up there and on the tackle for the Black Cats was Matt Sloan. the 44. So Prestonsburg, as Matt Branham had a lot of time there, and Charlie, he had that one read all the way.
Yeah, I think Matt was he run out of receivers. He was starting to look for one of his key receivers there and just tried to force the ball in somewhere where there wasn't room to put it. And the kid from Prestonsburg just stepped right in front of the pass.
Yeah, that was Seth Crisp. Seth is the starting quarterback for the Black Cats.
Did a nice juggling act with the ball, too.
So Crisp with the full house backfield. There's a wide out to the left, handoff. And Matt Sloan, he'll get back to the line of scrimmage.
That's 55, Brandon Awesome. Brought him down there.
Prestonsburg will face a 2nd and 10 from the 44-yard line. They're on the Pikeville 44.
Looks like Brandon Awesome's come back from his ankle injury from his knee injury from last week.
As Crisp will send wideouts to the right. Pitch back to Cottle. Cottle is stopped for a loss as he's going to be dropped at the 45. Gibson in on that stop.
Looks like both coaches are trying to establish the running game early tonight, Barry, and the defense seems to be up to the task so far.
Charlie, I think that if any defensive team facing Prestonsburg will have to try to key on Cottle. As we talked about earlier, he is one of the top 4 candidates for Mr. Football.
Yeah, we saw one last week, so we may get another show.
We are, as Crisp drops deep. He dumps the ball off. Reception is made by Hank Mullins. And a host of tacklers here. We've got a flag as he was driven out of bounds at around the flag is at the 49.
Looks like we've got a flag down on the play, Barry. Looks like it's going to be the late hit on somebody.
Okay, it's a late hit against we know it's against the Panthers.
Looks like that'll be an automatic first down for Prestonsburg.
As that's what you don't want to see is the extra yardage there. 15 yards tacked on from the point of the infraction. And that'll take it all the way down to the 30. Prestonsburg mounting a drive here as we're just underway in the first quarter. 9:09 remaining. Crisp from the shotgun rolls out. He's going to tuck it in and go with it and picks up about 5. He'll be stopped at about the 25. Good coverage downfield, and Joe, he had to tuck that one in and go with it.
Yeah, he just made his own decision and gone with it. Like you said, there's coverage downfield very nicely done by Pikeville.
As the Black Cats will send Austin Clark wide left. From the shotgun, he's going to keep it. That snap went to Hank Mullins. Ball snapped to Mullins.
They kind of snuck that in there on Pikeville.
A little trick play that they didn't get much out of it.
No.
That'll bring up a 3rd and about 6.
Pikeville's interior line on the defense is looking a lot stronger this week than they did last week, Barry.
Well, I'm telling you, Charlie, the LaFew kid from Boyle County, he was something last week. Of course, we did that game, and what was there not to like about that kid? He was very impressive. Under center, as Crisp flag dropped in the backfield. Crisp on the keeper, and he's brought down close to the first down marker.
I believe that'll be motion in the backfield on Prestonsburg.
You're exactly right. Charlie Pinson right down on the play there, as that's motion against the Black Cats. That'll back it up.
You know, you were talking about the LeFew kid earlier. Yeah, I think he's a legitimate candidate for Mr. Football, because I mean he was a man among boys down here last week.
He was, Charlie, and he could play as we discussed. He could play major college, either offensively or defensively. So 3rd and 10 for the Black Cats, as Chris. And from the shotgun, he's looking, has time, starting to break down. Now he scrambles. He's going to have, he gets rid of it, and incomplete. Just off the hands of Austin Clark. As that was a catchable pass, Joe.
Yeah,
looked as if it went through his hands.
He hit both fingers and his thumbs. He could have had that one.
As Seth Crisp scrambling back there.
That was a good decision by Crisp. He had the open receiver. You know, they would have got good yardage out of that pass.
And again, Charlie, he knew exactly where that line of scrimmage was.
Oh yeah, he was a good 2 foot behind it, but I mean it was good quick thinking on his part.
Heads up play by Seth Crisp. And the Black Cats will go for it on 4th down, of 4th and 10. Pitch back to Kyle's got a man, overthrows him as he tried to hit Kyle Shepard. And on downs, the ball will go over to the Panthers as a little trick play there.
That's the second trick play we've seen by Prestonsburg tonight already.
So Coach DeRosset pulling out all the stops, and the Panthers will take over on their own 30. Matt Branham will bring them to the line. Wideouts to the right, as to the right he will send Jeremiah Akers and Chase Gibson. Drops into the shotgun, looking over the middle, tries to hit Gibson, has him up at the 45. Chase Gibson pulls it in, 1st down, Pikeville.
Yeah, it looks like that Branham has settled down quite a bit in the backfield there, you know, paying real close attention to his receivers and getting rid of the ball a lot quicker.
He had good protection also there, Charlie, as it looked like the line gave him some time to throw the ball. Again, Branham goes into the shotgun. Receivers to both sides. Branham looking, rolls to the left. Now he's going to have to run with it, as he's across the 45, across midfield to the 40, brought down around the 36.
He got a tremendous block back there by Jeremiah Akers.
As brought down by Ralph Mollett.
Yeah, Akers caught him right. He caught him just on the shoulder with his head in front of him. I know the sideline was calling for a clip. There was a nice block by Akers to free him up for that yardage.
Yeah, he turned the corner as soon as Akers hit that block. That was very nice.
Ball spotted squarely on the 35. 1st and 10 for the Panthers. Branham again from the shotgun. This time he has wideouts to both sides. Looking up the middle, across the middle, tried to hit Gibson. It'll go incomplete as he threw into double coverage there.
I believe he was just throwing that ball away, Barry. He didn't really have anybody open. He just trying to get it out of their backfield so he didn't get a sack.
I think you're right, because his coverage had broken down, and Gibson had double coverage, and he just threw it away. That'll bring up a 2nd and 10, 6:19 remaining here in the first period. Ball is on the 35. Branham from the shotgun. Chase Gibson wide to the right, handoff up the middle, and with the ball is Barrett Rogers. He'll be stopped at about the 26.
You know, that's the best run that Rogers has had all year.
That's awfully close. Charlie, a little bit shy, though, I believe, of the first down.
Well, they had to get across the 25 to make it, so it was a pretty easy call.
So just shy of the 25. Let's call it 3rd and 1. This time under center as Branham hands off, and first down Panthers. Handoff went to Jared Frazier. Frazier will take it all the way down to the 21. Clock still running, 5:38 remaining in the first period. No score. Jeremiah Akers and Chase Gibson wide to the right. Matt Branham from the shotgun. Tucks it in, he's going to run with it, and he's going to be dropped for a loss, as coming in to make the stop was Kevin Woods.
Looks like the Prestonsburg defense is starting to run a lot of stunts right now to try to get more pressure on the backfield.
As Kevin Woods with a nice play there. That'll bring up a 2nd and 12. Ball is on the 23. Branham from the shotgun. As Barrett Rogers alongside, and coming with the blitz. Again, it's Kevin Woods. As Woods sacks him, he'll drop him all the way back to around the 33, as he really got through that time, Charlie.
Yeah, Prestonsburg's calling a lot of stunts on the defense. They know that Branham's going to put the ball in the air quite a bit, and they're going to make him earn every yard of it.
Kevin Woods with a beautiful sack there as he just burst through the line. This time we have Jeremiah Akers and Chase Gibson wide right from the shotgun. Branham looking, a lot of pressure. He gets it, the little screen dumped off to Jared Frazier, and Frazier will be stopped down around the 26.
Yeah, I believe that was number 10, Ralph Muller, brought him down there.
That was a nice call by the Pikeville offense. You know, with the rush that Prestonsburg's putting on, that little middle screen was open for a chance to get some good yardage out of it.
He got rid of it just in time, too, as Prestonsburg was coming with the pressure. 4th and 15 as Branham from the shotgun. Full house backfield as receiver to the right is Nick King. Branham looking. Good protection for Jeremiah Akers. Incomplete, overthrown. So Prestonsburg will take over on downs. 3:08 remaining here in the first quarter, and scoreless game. Good game up to this point. Charlie, he missed badly on that one.
Yeah, I don't know exactly what happened. I thought there might have been a pass interference call. It looked like he tripped over somebody, or maybe he was pushed a little bit, but evidently they missed it.
As there was no flags on the play. We've got a timeout with that. Let's take a timeout. We'll be right back. This is the Intermountain Sports Network. That's a 60, yeah, so just that spot. 5, Brian. Crisp rolls right. He's looking. Now he's scrambling back to the left. Still looking for room. Throws it complete, but I think this one's coming back as he hit his receiver, as it was completed to Matt Clay. But Charlie, I think that one's coming back.
Yeah, I believe that's going to be holding on the offensive line on that. They had a big strong rush coming on. One of the linemen just reached out and grabbed somebody, tried to slow him down going after his quarterback.
When you scramble around that much in the backfield, Joe, usually you're going to get a penalty with that much time.
Yeah, he had too much time there.
So Prestonsburg will put themselves in a hole now, as this one will be stepped off against them. And and ball will be on the 10-yard line. Seth Crisp from the shotgun. He has Austin Clark wide left, handoff, first man through. That's Sloan, and he is up around the, I believe, 18. Ball being spotted on the 19. That'll bring up a second and 16, as he got 9 on the carry. This time wide left is Matt Clay from the shotgun. Crisp looking, goes deep. And it's picked off, intercepted over there by Barrett Rogers.
He just sat and
I believe he was out of bounds when he caught the ball, Barry.
I think you're right, Charlie, as it's coming back. Big break there for Prestonsburg, as Barrett Rogers had that one.
He just sat there and waited that thing, hit him right in the breadbasket, as they say.
But out of bounds, so Prestonsburg will keep the ball. 3rd and 16, ball on the 19-yard line. 2:05 remaining here in the first quarter. Crisp from the shotgun. Again, he has Austin Clark wide left.
Oh, he just takes it, goes himself.
Well, he faked the handoff and fooled no one.
And I think that's a quarterback draw. You know, they've been running the cross buck out of that, and they're trying to fool somebody, but I don't think anybody on the Pikeville defense was fooled.
No one at all bid on that one, as 4th and 14. And Cottle needs to get a good kick away here. He can ill afford one like the first one we saw to begin the game. Jeremy Cottle, as he gets the foot into it, pretty good kick. It'll be taken at the 45 by Barrett Rogers. They run the reverse, gives it to Jeremiah Akers. Jeremiah Akers down across the 20, one man to beat, and he stopped at about the 9. A ball spotted even farther down, as he is down near the 5. This spot maybe at about the 7, as Charlie, he had one man to beat on that one.
Yeah, he tried a nice spin move there, but was that the quarterback, I think, that made the tackle on him, and it was a nice job by Seth.
So Matt Branham this time under center. Wide outs to both sides.
Looks like we're going to have movement on the offensive line there. He jumped before the snap. I'm sorry, Barry, that was on the defense.
It is. That'll push it down closer to that goal line, as Pikeville threatening to punch it in. Ball is on the 4-yard line. 1st and goal from the 4. 1:09 remaining here in the first quarter of a scoreless game. Branham under center has Barrett Rogers behind him. Handoff to Rogers. Touchdown, Pikeville. He had good blocking there as Charlie Big hole opened up.
Yeah, that was just power football up the middle. He had blacks leading and the 2 linemen cross blocking in the middle, and just opened up a hole you could drive a truck through.
It looked from up here as no one, well, he did get a hand laid on him, but nothing, anything close to being able to bring him down. As on to try the extra point for Pikeville will be Matt Walls. Holder will be Jeremiah Akers.
Walls' leg got a workout last week on the punting side of the ball, so I'm sure he is loose enough to be able to make the kick.
You're exactly right, as we saw him punt several times and flag on the play.
Looks like it's going to be offsides on the defense again. They'll move it half the distance to the goal line and try again.
So now I think they're going to go for 2. They have changed the call. They will go for the 2.
Interesting call. With a little momentum on your side, try to take advantage of it.
Pikeville leads it 6-0. Wide right is Nick King, keeps the backs in as Jeremiah Akers in motion. Branham looking, flag thrown, and he hits Chase Gibson for the 2, but we have a flag, and it's against Pikeville. What was that call, Charlie?
I didn't see the signal on it. I'll find out for us real quick. Illegal motion on the offense. The back moved too soon.
So that will erase those 2. Your score is still 6-0. And now I think probably they will kick the ball. Let's see if... No, Joe, they're lining up to go for the 2. Jeremiah Akers, wide right. As Matt Branham looking, tries to hit Akers, and cutting across the middle, he hits Barrett Rogers to pick up the 2-point conversion. Pikeville leads it 8-0 with 1:06 remaining here in the first quarter. Let's take a short break. We'll be right back. This is the Intermountain Sports Network. Yeah. 5 seconds, Brian. Kicking it off and fumble by Prestonsburg, but they come up with it as kicking it off was.
That was a lucky break for Prestonsburg.
It was.
The ball
it
up
popped
like
right back up to him. Yeah. Prestonsburg will take over on the 35. Let's call it the 36. They're on 36. Pikeville puts the first points on the board. They lead it 8-0 with exactly 1 minute remaining here in the first quarter. Barry Boyd, Charlie Pinson, Joe Adkins, and Brian Lee bringing you all the action. Pitch to Cottle. Cottle to the left side, and flag in the backfield. He's run out of bounds at around the 42. Flag thrown at around the 33. Could you tell what that was from down on the field, Charlie?
Yeah, it was holding on Prestonsburg on the pulling guard there. Got a hold of somebody's jersey.
That would open the hole up then, as Prestonsburg will be backed up. So that'll move it all the way back to the 24. Let's call it the 23. So it will be 1st and 23 for the Black Cats. Seth Crisp under center, wide outs to the right. Pitches it back, Cottle fumbles, Pikeville has it.
I think we're getting a lot of first game jitters for Prestonsburg out here tonight, Barry.
Who fell on that one, Charlie?
That was Matt Walls.
Matt Walls.
3.
Matt Walls with a big recovery. Pikeville, excellent field position as it will be spotted on the 20. Cottle coughs it up, and Pikeville with excellent field position. Branham up under center has Akers wide right, handoff up the middle, Barrett Rogers. He'll pick up good yardage, about 8 on the carry.
I think the Pikeville offensive unit is getting a lot more confidence now and opening up a lot more holes and just getting a lot more confidence in himself after the game they had last week.
That will bring up a 2nd and 2. That is spotted on the 13. Jeremiah Akers, wide left. Matt Branham, we've got a a flag thrown, and I don't know what this will be. I think someone lined up in the neutral zone.
Yeah, number 57 lined up in the neutral zone.
So it will go against Prestonsburg, lined up in the neutral zone.
You know, Prestonsburg's had a lot of untimely penalties here lately.
Right down where they'll really bite them to, Charlie, as Branham under center. Handoff, Barrett Rogers shakes one tackle, shakes two. Touchdown, Pikeville. Barrett Rogers takes it in from the 8-yard line. And as you had mentioned a little bit earlier, from down on the field, Charlie, you can just feel that they are gaining more confidence.
You know, they got beat up pretty bad last week against a real strong Boyle County team, and you know, they've already had these hits and they're used to it now. So I think that's going to make a big difference in this game where Prestonsburg hadn't played any yet.
Boyle County is going to beat up on a lot of teams this year, as this time they will go for the extra point as Jeremiah Akers holds. Kick is up, and someone must have gotten a hand on that as badly as he missed it, as Matt Walls missed that one badly to the left. Your score 14-0 with 5 seconds remaining here in the first quarter, and I couldn't see that one. Joe, did someone get a hand on that?
He must have, because the way he missed it, somebody must have had a hand on it, because it didn't go anywhere.
I don't believe anybody touched it, boys. I believe he just shanked it. I think he came off the side of his foot. I think that's his first field goal try of the year in a game. I think last week all he got was punts.
Well, then Charlie, right down there on the spot, he evidently missed it. (14-0) as Prestonsburg finds themselves in a hole. 5 seconds remaining here in the first quarter. Teeing it up and set to kick for the Panthers is Matt Walls. Deep for Prestonsburg to receive is Hank Mullins. Walls approaches, and low kick taken by an up back. He can't handle it. Now he picks it up, and he's going to run with it. It was picked up there by Matt Setzer. No, I'm sorry, that's not Matt Setzer. That was...
He's chasing.
Yes, it was. That was Matt Setzer, wasn't it? Number 33 that picked the ball up, and Prestonsburg will start from the 24-yard line. So at the end of one, your score, Pikeville 14, Prestonsburg nothing. Let's take a short break. We'll be right back. This is the Intermountain Sports Network.
Kicking game. That's
give me how many? What are you showing now? That'll work. As start of the second quarter here, Chris takes the snap, completes it, but we've got a flag on the play as pass was completed to Matt Clay.
I believe that'll be an equipment violation. I don't think one of the linemen had his mouthpiece in on that play.
Okay, equipment violation. Lineman did not have the mouthpiece in, so that will go against Prestonsburg. Good call down there, Charlie, as right on top of things. Charlie Pinson with down on the field coverage. Seth Crisp with Hank Mullins behind him. They try to run it up the middle as Crisp on the keeper, and he'll be dropped at the ball being spotted right on the 20. It's going to bring up a 2nd and about 13. Austin Clark and Kyle Shepard wide right, looking, it's incomplete, almost picked off, as closest man to that ball was Lincoln Sowards for the Pikeville Panthers.
Pikeville's putting a lot of pressure on Prestonsburg right now, and I think that's making him throw the ball a lot quicker than he wants to.
11-11 remaining here in the first half. Pikeville leads it by a score of 14-0. Seth Crisp will bring his team to the line. Crisp from the shotgun. Clark wide right. Crisp flares it out to the left. Running room, not much.
Looks like they tried to run a little screen pass, and the defensive end turned it back inside to where the linebackers could come up and make a tackle on that one.
As pass was completed to Hank Mullins for the Black Cats, they'll now face a 4th and 11 as Cottle looks as they could fake the punt. No, snap is to Cottle. This time he gets away a pretty good kick. It's going to go out of bounds around the 35. So good kick by Cottle as Pikeville will take over. Matt Branham brings his offense back out to do battle. Branham will send Jeremiah Akers and Chase Gibson. He holds Gibson in. Jeremiah Akers wide left. They run the ball up the middle.
Looks like they fumbled the handoff on that one, you know, which they've not run the ball much tonight. I think there was just some kind of a miscommunication there, and they fell back on it and got it back.
I think that on that play was Jared Frazier. So it will be 2nd and 10 from the 37. Pikeville on their own 37. Nick King wide left from the eye. Branham, 2nd man through.
He handed it off to Barrett Rogers again.
Yeah, 2nd man through, and Rogers burst through up to about the 40. Picked up about 3 on the carry. That'll bring up a 3rd and 7. And up to this point, they've had a lot of confidence in their passing game, so I wouldn't be surprised if Branham doesn't put it in the air, as he has Jeremiah Akers. Wide left, Nick King. Wide right. From the eye. Fakes the handoff, looks, gets rid of it. Wide open. Enough for the first down yardage as he hits Jared Frazier. So Jared Frazier pulling it in, and Pikeville moves the chains. Ball spotted on the 49, on the Prestonsburg 49. Branham keeps the backs in. From the shotgun, looking, plenty of time. Had Nick King wide open. King couldn't handle it, so it will go incomplete.
He had all kinds of running room, too, if he could have caught that ball.
He did. Wide open. I think, Charlie, that King may have seen that room, too, and
Probably wanted to run with the ball before he caught it.
Exactly. He wanted to go with it before he pulled it in. Jeremiah Akers and Chase Gibson wide left from the eye. Matt Branham under center. Gives to the second man through. That's Barrett Rogers looking for running room. And he'll be stopped at about the 44.
Well, that was a nice tackle by Prestonsburg. He was the only man that really was going to stop him. He would have got good yardage if he hadn't held on to him like that.
In there was David Harris on the play for the Black Cats. He'll be spotted on the 44. It'll bring up 3rd and 5 for the Panthers. Nick King and Jared Frazier wide left. They have wide outs to both sides from the shotgun. Matt Branham looking, has good protection. Complete. Down around the 28 as pulling that one in was Chase Gibson.
He just pulled that in with that left hand.
Yeah, that was a nice grab by Gibson. The ball was actually thrown behind him, and he just kind of reached out with that one hand and pulled it into his body in order to get the first down.
It was, as he, as you said, had to reach back to pull that one in. Again, Pikeville moves the chains. Ball spotted on the 27. 1st and 10 Panthers. They lead 14-0. 7:44 remaining in the first half. From the shotgun, Matt Branham. Looking, has a receiver wide open. Nick King at the 20. Nick King pulling that one in and trying to make the spin move, but lost his footing. As Matt Branham will keep the backfield in tight. Looking, plenty of time over the middle and batted away, broken up. As nice play there by Matt Sloan.
That ball looked like it went right through his hands and bounced off his shoulder pads on that one, Barry. I think if he'd have held on to it, it'd have been 6.
As he had Chase Gibson down near the end zone. Sloan getting a hand on it. From the shotgun, Matt Branham looking on a 3rd and 2. Flares it out to Barrett Rogers. He has the first down and about 4 more, maybe 5, as Barrett Rogers on a nice little, he just dumped that one off.
Yeah, it was just a little swing pass. Looked like they had that set up. That's something like what UK runs. You know, they run him out to into the backfield and just throw it and let the back try to pick up yardage after he catches the ball.
Flag on the play. That will be a clip against the Panthers. They'll move it all the way back to the 34 on the penalty. Third and about 16. Jeremiah Akers wide left. Matt Branham keeps 2 backs in from the shotgun. Now he asks for a timeout as he wants to talk it over. And with that, let's take a break. We'll be right back. This is the Intermountain Sports Network. Yee. Pikeville facing a 3rd and 16. Branham with the shotgun and looking for Jeremiah Akers. Still looking. And it's intercepted. Picked off by Seth Crisp around the 22.
That's his 2nd interception for the evening.
So Seth Crisp not only handles the quarterback duties, but he does a good job back there in that secondary.
I believe a defensive lineman may have got a finger on that ball because it looked like it jumped as soon as he let go of it. So I think somebody may have batted that ball just a little bit.
You could very well be right, Charlie, as there was no one else around it. As Prestonsburg will take over. 1st and 10 from the 22. 6:25 remaining here in the first half. Panthers lead it 14-0. Timeout, and with that timeout, let's take a break. We'll be right back. Seconds, Brian, 5 seconds. We're going to have to join it. Chris scrambling for his life as now he rolls out to the left, cuts it back to the right, and he stopped as shut down by Matt Walls. As scrambling for his life back there was Seth Crisp. That'll bring up a 2nd and 5 from the 27 as Chris picks up 5 on the scramble. Crisp in the shotgun. Austin Clark wide right, handoff. Hank Mullins, I'm sorry. He rolls to the left, shakes one. And he's not going anywhere as he shook the first couple tacklers, could not get through there. Hank Mullins just didn't have any blocking there, Joe.
No, he didn't. Then finally, 63, Cecil Norman brought him down. Chris just couldn't find, Hank just couldn't find the opening over there.
They'll bring up a 3rd and about 4. Crisp in the shotgun. He has Austin Clark wide right, looking, rolls to his right, looking. Protection's broken down, rolls back to his left, had a man open, and tried to hit Clark. In there to break it up was Nick King.
Well, I'll tell you what, he showed off a lot of mobility on that play, didn't he?
He did, as the rush was really coming, and Clark showing a lot of speed on that too, as he lined up on the right side of the line, run a pattern upfield, cut it all the way across to the left. 4th and 4 as Cottle back to kick. He gets away a good one. Jeremiah Akers mishandles it. Now he picks it up, has blockers. Akers looking for a hole. Still in bounds. He may go. Akers will take it back. Stepped out of bounds. Back at the 20-yard line.
If he wouldn't have stepped out of bounds, he was gone with that one with ease.
Jeremiah Akers with a beautiful spin move, but stepped out of bounds back on the 20. And, Joe, you see that happen quite often when the deep man mishandles a punt. Then it just seems that well, in this case, the blocking was set up so good return there for Jeremiah Akers.
He just took off down the sideline. He was gone.
Under center is Matt Branham from the I.
It's a handoff to Barrett Rogers again.
Rogers right up into the middle of that defense. Again, Pikeville threatening. They lead this one 14-0. 2nd and 7. Ball around the 17-yard line. This time, Branham under center. Second man through, Rogers. And he'll be stopped at about the 15.
That was Cottle there with a stop. He just seen the 30 come through the line, just grabbed a hold of him and brought him down.
As Barrett Rogers right into the middle of that line. Jeremy Cottle on the stop. This time Branham will operate from under center. Pitch back to Barrett Rogers. And he'll be stopped at about the 14. Ball will be spotted on the 14. I'll bring up a 4th and about 4. 2:36 remaining here in the first half. Pikeville with a 14-0 lead. This time, Branham will go from the shotgun. Wide outs to both sides. Fakes a handoff. Out to Jeremiah Akers, looking for blockers. And first down, Pikeville.
That was a very nice play. Jeremiah Akers, that little stutter step out there, just held his ground away for the pass.
And he waited for his blockers to pick him up. Ball spotted down on the 5. First and goal. This time Branham will go from the shotgun. Hand off to Barrett Rogers, breaks it off to the left side. Touchdown, Pikeville.
Yeah, the offensive line, I think that Prestonsburg is showing this first game. They're not quite in game shape yet. Doesn't seem like they're getting tired late in the first quarter here, and it's starting to show.
Charlie, they're just blowing them off the line.
Oh, yeah, Pikeville's offensive line has looked much better this week than it did last week.
As Walls will attempt the extra point. Matt Walls on to kick. Jeremiah Akers the holder. Good snap. Ball is put down. It's up. Looks good. And kick is good. So your score with 1:51 to go here in the first half is Pikeville 21, Prestonsburg nothing. Let's take a break. We'll be right back. You're listening to the Intermountain Sports Network. Just play me one spot and then the ID. It's going to get worse, I'm thinking. As Prestonsburg finds themselves in a hole, 21-0. 1:51 remaining here in the first half. And Matt Walls to kick it away for Pikeville. Deep man for the Black Cats is Hank Mullins. Walls, low kick.
That's the second one of the evening.
Mishandled. Now Mullins falls on it, and it'll be spotted right on the 20-yard line. That was about all Mullins could do, Joe, was fall on that one.
He just had to get it in there before Pikeville got up through on him.
Good coverage by the Panthers. They were down the field quickly that time. Prestonsburg will take over. 1st and 10 from their own 20. Chris from the shotgun. Wide outs to both sides. Rolls to the right, looking, complete. As Mullins has it, and he's up across the 25 out to about the 27. Hank Mullins, nice catch there.
Pikeville was on the rush again. He got it off very nicely to Mullins.
As Seth Crisp is having to scramble for his life back in that backfield.
He sure is, Barry.
Let's give him 8 on the completion. That'll bring up a 2nd and 2. Man in motion for the Black Cats. Crisp out of the shotgun. Lets it go. Picked off. Intercepted by Jeremiah Akers for the Panthers up at the 44.
Yeah, that pass just went through the receiver's hands, and Akers was able to pick it up before it hit the ground, and, you know, with a nice defensive play.
So Pikeville will threaten again here with 54 seconds remaining in the first half. They lead 21-0. They'll take over from the 44. Branham out of the shotgun, looking, gets rid of it. Tapped away, getting a hand on it was Mike McDonald for the Black Cats.
I think that McDonald was able to read that play all the way, because I don't think that Branham was going to throw the ball to anybody but Akers on that one.
That did look pretty obvious, Charlie, from up here. As 50 seconds remaining in the first half. Branham under center. From the eye, wide outs to both sides. Takes a handoff to Rogers, complete. Jared Frazier all the way down to the 30-yard line. They'll pick up the first down and move the chains, so that'll stop the clock while the chains are being moved. Clock is running now as Branham from the shotgun. Branham looking over the middle. Chase Gibson wide open. Touchdown, Pikeville.
That was very nice. He got a nice block here from Nick King to finish it right into the end zone.
And this one, the first half, is getting ugly, folks. Charlie, there was no one near him.
No, number 25 made a nice block, though. I think he might have been tackled at about the 5-yard line if number 25 hadn't blocked the defensive back coming across on that one.
27-0. 24 seconds remaining here in the first half. Pikeville on top. Matt Walls on to attempt the extra point. Good snap. Kick is up and well short, as someone evidently got a hand on that one. 24 seconds remaining here in the first half as Pikeville leads at 27-0. Let's take a short break. We'll be right back on the Intermountain Sports Network. 30. How much time you got left right now? Okay, give me that and the ID. Set to kick it away is Matt Walls for the Panthers. As Walls has seen quite a bit of action kicking the ball again here this weekend, but last week it was primarily punts, Charlie Pinson.
Yeah, he's been able to kick a couple field goals and several kickoffs tonight. I'll tell you, he's just not having a good night, though. He's not been able to get under the ball all night long.
Now again, a low kick is picked up by Sloan.
Walls is just not getting any kind of lift at all on that kick.
Now, as it was brought back to the 45 with 18 seconds remaining here in the first half. First half has been all Pikeville. Crisp from the shotgun has Austin Clark wide right. Incomplete, as a lot of pressure put on him there.
Crisp was, like you said very early, he's scrambling for his life back there.
Intended receiver was Matt Clay, but he was just glad to get rid of it, I believe, Joe.
Yeah, you kind of see it in the throw. He try to get off. He just wanted to get the ball away from him as quickly as possible.
12 seconds remaining here in the first half. Ball on the 45. It'll be 2nd and 10. Chris from the shotgun. Wideouts to both sides. Man in motion. And bad snap. Chris picks it up. He's going to have to run with it. Has enough yardage for the first down. Still on his feet. Down to about the 37, and quickly Prestonsburg wants a timeout with only 1 second remaining. So with that timeout, let's step aside for just a moment. We'll be right back. As Prestonsburg got the timeout with 1.8 seconds remaining here in the first half, and they trail 27-0. What you would think they would go with here, Joe, is probably a Hail Mary towards the end zone.
Yes, and hopefully Chris doesn't have to scramble for his life field on this one, Barry. He might be able to pull something off.
Chris from the shotgun, looking, and almost intercepted as it was off the shoulder pads off Kyle Shepard. Incomplete. We've played 1 half here from Pikeville. Your score: Pikeville Panthers 27, Prestonsburg Black Cats nothing. Let's take a break, and we'll be back with comments on the first half in just a moment. Yeah, run through them all. Okay. Joe, this first half has been all Pikeville as they've dominated both sides of the ball.
Tremendously. Barry Rogers is putting on more or less an offensive show tonight.
He does that every weekend. And Branham, he's gained a lot of confidence. We saw him play last week. But the entire Pikeville squad, they've stepped it up a notch tonight. And Charlie, your comments from down on the field.
Well, you know, like I said, I know that Pikeville stepped it up quite a bit, and what we're seeing out of Prestonsburg, too, is a lot of what we saw last week out of Pikeville and Belfry is the first game jitters. You know, they've not played against anybody but each other in the last all summer long, and, you know, this is their first real test, and, you know, Pikeville's got that week's experience in there. Of course, you know, like I say, Prestonsburg lost several players. You know, they lost John Ortega out of the backfield from last year, which, you know, makes a big difference because with his speed and ability, he was a fine running back. You know, I think that we'll see. I think Prestonsburg will settle down some in the second half, and we'll come back and make it a little bit better game. But right now, Pikeville's got an awful lot of confidence and momentum going their way.
And Prestonsburg does find themselves in a big hole as they trail 27-0 here in the first half. Let's kick it back, and we'll be back for second half action in just a short while. Give me about 7 or 8 minutes. Welcome back to the W.C. Hambly Athletic Complex. Barry Boyd, Joe Adkins, Charlie Pinson, and Brian Lee covering all the action for you. Charlie, the first half was pretty much the Barrett Rogers show.
Yeah, the Pikeville offensive line opened up some holes and let him gain quite a bit of yardage, and he had a nice first half. I don't know what kind of yardage he had.
He picked up 50 yards in the first half.
That's a nice half in high school football.
Certainly is, as they spread the yardage around, too. And they seem to get their offense going, clicking on both the rush and the pass.
Yeah, they had a nice balanced offense in the first half. You know, they give good time to Branham to throw the ball and open up some nice holes for the running game.
Of course, we have no official word as to the status of the Panther football program, as Chris McNamee is calling the shots from the sidelines tonight. Coach Chapman, from what we understand, is under suspension, and word up here in the press box is that we will have an announcement on Monday. But we're set for second half action as Matt Walls will tee it up. He'll kick deep to Hank Mullins for the Black Cats. Walls again, a low kick. Mullins picks it up on one hop at about his 18. Good return as he'll bring it back out to around the 35.
I believe that was Matt Walls with the stop.
So the kicker, Matt Walls, gets down to stop Mullins.
Barry, he got a little loft on that kick. Finally, it gave Pikeville a chance to get down the field on him.
Mullins picked it up on the one hop and had the opportunity to return it. And I'm sure Coach DeRossett was not pleased with his team the first half. So let's see how they react to the halftime meeting. As again, Chris from the shotgun, he rolls left, turns it back into the middle, and he's dropped at the line of scrimmage. No gain as Crisp is just swarmed on by a host of tacklers. Well, they will give Seth Crisp 1 yard on that carry. As Pikeville can gamble here this second half with the big lead of 27-0. Their coverage is, well, they have one man deep in the secondary. Handoff, Mullins off the left side. He'll get maybe one. So Hank Mullins has handled practically all the chores for the Black Cats up to this point. Cottle has really not gotten untracked.
No, it looks like he kind of disappeared a little bit on his first half. See if he can turn around the second half.
3rd and 7 from the 37. Chris from the shotgun. Handoff. This goes to Mullins up the middle, and he'll be short. So he'll be about a yard short. That'll bring up 4th and 1. From their own 44-yard line, Prestonsburg will try to pick up the first down. As this time they go to the eye, and Crisp under center, and Mullins will pick up the first down. Good surge from the offensive line that time.
Barry, looks like Prestonsburg is playing just a little bit more under control now than they did the first half.
Well, risky call there. Of course, they didn't have a lot to lose, trailing by a score of 27-0. Cottle in the backfield, the lone back, as pitch back to Cottle off the left side, looking for running room. Flag on the play, and Charlie, did you pick that one up?
I believe there's going to be an illegal block on there. It looked like he might have got a cut block on the legs over there.
So this one will go against the Black Cats. Illegal block that will back up the Black Cats. As Cottle looking for running room around the left side. So the clip to try to free Cottle down the left side will back up the Black Cats. And Charlie, there was another one tacked on that one.
Okay, the other call was a personal foul on the offense. I guess it was a, I don't know what exactly happened, but we saw a lot of that last week in the first game for most of the other schools.
So it is a clip and a personal foul against the Prestonsburg Black Cats. That'll move them back deep in their own territory. Crisp. Good block there. Gives him some time. Throws across the middle. Picked off. Chase Gibson. And Gibson will take it in. Touchdown, Pikeville. Pikeville putting on quite an offensive show here tonight.
Yeah, Gibson just saw that ball, read it all the way with him. With the quarterback scrambling like that, he was just following his eyes, and when he let go of the ball, he just stepped in front of him and took it in for the touchdown.
Charlie, I wouldn't have thought that, of course, it was based on last week's performance that this game would have been this lopsided, did you?
No, I wouldn't have. Pikeville didn't look that strong last week, but they sure made some good adjustments in the the week off. And, of course, Prestonsburg is not as strong as I expected them to be either.
Of course, they lost several players to graduation.
Yeah, and you can really tell, I think the leadership, they must have lost a lot of leadership off of last year's team, too, and that's starting to show up a lot.
As they will try to tack on the extra point. Jeremiah Akers, the holder, Matt Walls. Good snap, puts it down, and kick is wide right. As your score 33-0 with 8:58 remaining in the third quarter. Let's take a short break. We'll be right back. This is the Intermountain Sports Network. How much time you got on this one? Okay, that'll work. 24 in the ID. Matt Walls will tee it up to kick away again, but this time it's after the score. Last week we saw him punt the ball several times. And tonight it has been after scores by his Panther team. Teed up on the 40 as Walls kicks this one away. It's picked up by Crisp. Crisp looking for running room, and he's dropped at about the 23-yard line. They kicked away from Mullins that time.
Crisp has seen a lot of action out there tonight. He's been on defense, offense, returns. I'd say he's going to get tired before this quarter's over.
Let me tell you, that young man has scrambled for his life, too.
He's picked up a lot of east and west yardage. May not be a lot of north and south, but he sure run the ball quite a bit side to side.
That he has, as Prestonsburg will take over. Crisp from the shotgun. Wideouts to both sides. Looking, now he's going to tuck it in and run with the ball, looking for running room. He'll be dropped right at the 30-yard line.
Crisp sure putting on a show out there in the backfield, isn't he? He just tucks the ball in and runs away from whoever's after him. Seems like he's just made a lot of moves, and I'm sure it'll start to show in when the fourth quarter comes up, though. He's going to have to run out of steam sooner or later.
Well, Charlie, evidently the Panthers have good coverage downfield as he's having to tuck that ball in and go with it himself. As this time he will send wide out to the left side from the shotgun. Keeps two backs in. Screens it off to Hank Mullins. Mullins cuts it back to the middle. And he'll be close to the first down. It is first down. Black Cat first down. They move the chains. Ball is spotted on the 35. Barry Boyd, Charlie Pinson, Joe Adkins, Brian Lee bringing you all the action here on the Intermountain Sports Network. As Seth Crisp from the shotgun. Wide out to the left. Crisp rolls to the left. Getting pressure. Looks back to the right. And overthrown, as the intended receiver on that one was Matt Clay.
Just kind of threw it right out of his reach, Barry.
A little bit overthrown, as good coverage there by the Panther secondary. Jeremiah Akers had Clay covered. Crisp gets the play from the sidelines. 7:18 remaining here in the third quarter. 33-0. Pikeville with the lead. Man in motion as Crisp looking, big rush. He eludes the rush, gets rid of it, and it's caught. Catch made by Matt Clay. Chase Gibson forces him out of bounds up around the 40. Ball will be spotted just shy of the 40, the Prestonsburg 40. Third and 6. Let's call it the 39. As Seth Crisp from the shotgun. Wideouts to both sides. He rolls to his left, getting pressure. Gets away from it, throws back across, intercepted by Chase Gibson. And he's dropped at the 40. As tempers begin to flare, we have a little pushing there after that play. It'll be spotted just shy of the 40.
I think Crisp is forcing the ball quite a bit. He tried to get rid of that one on the run and just threw it across his body, and it just kept the ball in the air way too long.
Well, the pressure's starting to get through there to him, Charlie.
Yeah, they're not being able to keep the outside ends from coming in on the rush.
As Matt Branham, this time under center, hands off to Barrett Rogers. And he will carry the ball right up the middle for about 3. An official time as Rogers shaken up, but quickly back up on his feet.
According to the sideline, he's just suffering for some cramps because of the humidity tonight. I think he'll be all right.
As Rogers does come off, and checking in for the Panthers will be Chase Rogers. Brannon under center. Pitches back to the second back. That's Rogers. He's driven back. Met at about the 40. It'll be spotted on the 39. 5:57 remaining here in the third quarter. Pikeville leads at 33-0 over the Black Cats. 3rd and 9. Branham from the shotgun. One back in, wideouts both sides. Branham looking, and he's brought down in the backfield as almost eluded the rush and slipped. I think he went down more from the slip than any type of contact, Charlie.
Well, it looks like he may have got a hand on him just as he went by, and it caught him off balance while he was trying to step forward, and that's what made him hit the ground.
So that'll bring up a 4th and 13. Matt Walls comes on to punt. Dropping deep is Seth Crisp and Hank Mullins for the Black Cats. Good snap. Walls. It gets some height on it, but short as that. Joe, that one went nowhere.
He looked like he went outside of his foot again, Barry. He's having trouble with that this evening.
Well, he had a tremendous rush coming in on him there. Cottle almost got a hand on that one. I think he tried to rush the kick off quite a bit to avoid that contact.
So it will be spotted on the 27-yard line. First and 10, Black Cats. Nick King plays center field back there for the Panthers. And this time, Crisp is just swarmed under. Charlie King is just playing back there in that secondary, just sort of roaming wherever he wants to. He's playing basically center field, isn't he?
Yeah, he's he's just kind of trying to keep it's kind of a rover position, I think is what they call it in this defense, and he's doing a good job back there.
Chris from the shotgun, wide out to both sides. Rolls to his left, still looking, and he's going to be dropped, swarmed under.
He's just having trouble finding daylight to throw that ball tonight, Barry.
Well, good coverage downfield by the Panthers.
Well, the Prestonsburg offensive line's not been able to give him any protection at all tonight. I mean, he's, like I say, he's running for his life back there, and every pass he's made has been made on the run.
You're exactly right. He hasn't been able to stay in the pocket. I can't recall one play where he's stayed in the pocket. He's had to scramble. But Crisp lines up in the shotgun. Kenny has wide outs both sides. This time he drops, rolls right, now back to his left, looks upfield, almost picked off by Jeremiah Akers. Intended receiver was Kyle Shepard. That's going to bring up a 4th and 15.
Cottle's getting back to punt this one off, Barry.
So Cottle drops back to around his own 10. Back to receive is Barrett Rogers and Jeremiah Akers. Kick will go to Jeremiah Akers. He mishandles it and still loose. Barrett Rogers comes up with it.
Looks like he went down about the 34-yard line.
Jeremiah Akers with excellent hands, and very unusual to see him misplay one like that, Charlie.
Yeah, we've had a lot of mishandled balls tonight. I don't know if there's something out here that's causing it, but it seems like both teams have had a hard time fielding the ball on the kicking game. Matt
Branham rushes out. And he'll go into the shotgun, sends Jeremiah Akers and Chase Gibson wide left. Branham. Now he tucks it in. Good shot there as he's met by Chris Spriggs. Spriggs with a good tackle there.
Yeah, he just came across the field and leveled him just as soon as he came into his area with that ball.
Ball will be spotted on the 35. That'll bring up a 2nd and 9 for the Panthers. This time, Branham under center, I formation. Jeremiah Akers, he went down. He had running room there, but the knee went down back at about the 34, 33. .129 remaining, clock running here in the third quarter. Pikeville 33-0 over Prestonsburg. 3rd and 11. Branham, wide outs both sides, looking, breaking down, and ball is knocked loose. Let's see how this call goes. Charlie, was that a fumble or was the arm in a forward motion?
They're going to call it a fumble and said Pikeville recovered it. You know, he just got blindsided from back. He was getting ready to draw back and throw the ball, and the contact just jarred the ball loose before he could bring his arm forward.
So Pikeville recovers the fumble, and Matt Walls will punt it away. Seth Crisp and Hank Mullins deep for the Black Cats. Walls and mishandled the snap.
Ball still loose.
Ball's loose.
Still loose.
Still loose. Prestonsburg has it. Prestonsburg has the ball on the 5-yard line.
Prestonsburg will have it on the 5-yard line.
Well, it looks like Prestonsburg finally might have a break here, Barry.
I tell you, Walls is trying to field that ball, you know, and he was swarmed over by a host of Prestonsburg defenders, and the ball just kept rolling around, and everybody had 4 or 5 chances at it, and finally Prestonsburg was able to come up with it.
So their best opportunity of the evening to score as they are on the 5-yard line. 10 seconds remaining here in the third quarter. Crisp up under center. I formation behind him. Handoff, second man through. That's Mullins. Fumbled into the end zone.
Pikeville may have recovered the fumble in the end zone. Let's
recovers in the end zone.
Looks like Mullins was going to score, and somebody just jarred the ball loose, and looks like Pikeville will get the ball back on their own 20-yard line.
So Pikeville will take over on the 20.
This one Prestonsburg thought things were going right. Things turned over on them.
Absolutely. As Mullins, the ball popped loose, and Pikeville comes up with it. 2 seconds remaining in the third quarter. Pikeville will go on offense.
2 seconds to go in the third quarter. There's 3 seconds to go in the third quarter.
Branham under center. Handoff up the middle. Matt Walls with the carry. He'll get about 2 yards, and we've come to the end of the third quarter. Your score, Pikeville 33, Prestonsburg nothing. Let's take a break, and we'll be right back. This is the Intermountain Sports Network. Gives about 45. Well, they are basically. There could be a lot worse, honey. We've played 3 quarters and still a goose egg on the board for the Prestonsburg Black Cats as they trail Pikeville 33-0. 12 minutes of action left. Pikeville with possession of the ball on their own 25, 2nd and 5. Branham under center, hands off, and Barrett Rogers, nothing there.
He hit a wall of white shirts very quickly on that one, Barry.
Again, the Prestonsburg defense looks like they're stunning quite a bit with their linebackers. They're not going to give Pikeville the up the middle. The Pikeville's going to have to go around the outside, or they're going to have to throw the ball, which they've done well tonight.
They certainly have. Barrett Rogers, only a sophomore. 3rd and 5 from the 25 as Branham will go to the shotgun. Receiver wide outs to both sides. He rolls right, looking, and he has running room up the left side, still on his feet, and all the way out to the 43. First down, Panthers.
That was a tremendous run by Matt Branham there.
Charlie, he just found a hole and took off up the left side.
Well, he was actually caught back here on the 20-yard line and just pulled his foot out of the tackle and then just made some nice moves on the inside.
So they let Branham get away that time. A big gain. This time from the eye, Branham under center. Handoff, first man through as Matt Walls will take it across the 45 to about the 46. And late flag on the play.
Looks like we're going to have an unsportsmanlike conduct on. Looks like Prestonsburg. He was pushing after the play. Looks like there was a little disagreement there between the quarterback and some of the other players.
Unsportsmanlike against Prestonsburg.
I think the egg on the scoreboard's getting to him, Barry.
It could be, as a little pushing after the play.
Pikeville coaches over here telling Branham to keep his cool. You know, he was involved in that action, and they're trying to make sure that he doesn't retaliate on that.
Wise choice. As ball is spotted on the 40, 1st and 10. Down on the Prestonsburg 40. Branham under center. He has Jeremiah Akers wide right. Handoff up the middle. Matt Walls will take it down to about the 35. A much improved Pikeville team from what we saw last week in the Pike County Community Trust YMT Bowl.
It looks like they're playing with a little bit more confidence tonight.
Handoff to Barrett Rogers. Not much there. May have gotten a yard.
Barry, that might have helped them last week a little bit because they're playing with a little bit more confidence this week than they did last.
And they were playing a very strong Boyle County team last week. Ball will be spotted just inside the 35. It'll be a 3rd and 5. 9 minutes remaining in the game. Jeremiah Akers wide right as Prestonsburg.
Looks like we'll have offsides on Prestonsburg.
Offsides as Prestonsburg false start. Or they jumped the start. And that will give Pikeville the first down. Clock continues to run. Ball on the 29. As again, Pikeville threatening Jeremiah Akers and Chase Gibson. Wide right. Out to Jeremiah Akers. He missed. One man missed him. Then he was wrapped up by, let's see.
Looked like Mike McDonald there for Prestonsburg.
It was Mike McDonald and also Matt Sloan in on the stop. Matt Branham getting instructions from the Pikeville sideline. Pikeville sends Jeremiah Akers wide left, Nick King wide right. From the eye, Branham under center. Pitch back to Barrett Rogers, looking for running room on the left side. As first tackle was missed, and first down Panthers.
He just kept his feet going, Barry, on that one. He got hit and almost lost it, but he just kept it going down the sideline.
Shook the first tackle and took it down to about the 12-yard line, where it'll be 1st and 10 with 7:20 remaining here in the game. Prestonsburg yet to put anything on the board. They trail Pikeville 33-0. Jeremiah Akers, Chase Gibson, wide right. Again, from the shotgun. And timing play as thrown behind Nick King. That'll bring up a 2nd and 10 from the 12. Under center from the eye, Branham, pitch back, goes to Barrett Rogers, has room on the right side, down near the 6-yard line. As Barrett Rogers off the right side. Ball is marked on the 7. 3rd and 5. Chase Gibson, Jeremiah Akers comes wide right. Nick King wide out to the left. Branham from the shotgun. Keeps Barrett Rogers in tight. Branham drops back, steps up, batted down. Flag thrown in there, as getting a hand on it for Prestonsburg was Chris Briggs, but there was a flag. Charlie, you know what that...
It looks, I don't know, maybe you pass interference on the offense this time. No, it's going to be on the defense.
Pass interference.
And roughing the passer.
And also roughing the passer on that.
I've walked among these people, heard the stories that they tell. I've crawled beside them in the mines and touched the walls of hell. I've shared their sacred secrets, known
I think they took the pass interference because they got a first down that way. They wouldn't have got a first down, I don't think, on the roughing the passer because it only been half the distance to the goal line.
They took the pass interference and declined the roughing the passer. So it's first down on the 3.
I just went right through his hands, Barry.
As good coverage there on Jeremiah Akers by
Seth Crisp.
Seth Crisp. He's been all over the field tonight. Second and goal from the 3. 5:50 remaining in the game.
Solid Gospel, AM 900 WLSI, where listeners stay inspired.
Chase Gibson, Jeremiah Akers comes wide right. Nick King wide left. In the I formation, Branham, handoff Barrett Rogers, touchdown Pikeville. As Barrett Rogers goes in untouched.
I think that the Prestonsburg defense is getting tired. They've been on the field a long time tonight, and they're starting to show a lot of wear and tear.
That could explain Rogers getting through the line as easily as he did, as the Prestonsburg defense has been on the field quite some time tonight. Walls on for the extra point. Good snap. Akers puts it down. And extra point is missed. 39-0 with 5:47 remaining in the game. Let's take a short break and we'll be right back. This is the Intermountain Sports Network. Yeah, short ID. Okay. Okay. Strange call. Matt Walls will tee it up on the 40 and kick to the deep man, Hank Mullins.
The offsides penalty was mandatory on that because it was before the play.
Okay. Taken by one of the upbacks.
Wall's kicking woes continue to surface tonight. He's just not done well at all in his kicking game, unlike the way he was last week.
Okay, the reason that the ball was kicked again is because the offsides was mandatory. They did have to take it, is the reason Prestonsburg took the penalty. Good field position at the 43. Crisp rolls right, dumps it off complete.
Kyle Shepard.
As Shepard.
No, I'm sorry, that's Matt Clay.
It was Matt Clay, number 4, only 5'5".
Yeah, but once again, Barry Crisp threw that thing on a run. He's not having time to get back there in that pocket and set.
He hasn't been able to throw out of the pocket all night. Ball on the 47, that'll bring up a 2nd and 6. Crisp almost picked off, as getting a hand on that one was Jared Frazier.
I think Prestonsburg offense is starting to show some time, with Crisp in the backfield, he's starting to show a little bit of fatigue here. He's played both ways all night. He's been on the field the whole game, so it's understandable that he started showing some weakness at this point.
He has, and that kid has, he's had to run for his life practically all night with
the
the Pikeville line coming at him. Mullins comes left as Chris. Little screen pass out to Mullins, and not much there, as he's met by 3 of the Panthers. Dropped right on the 47. Bring up a 4th and 6. Chris from the shotgun, wide out to the right. Chris Bros right, looking, goes deep. Picked off. Intercepted by Chris Smiley. Smiley still on his feet across midfield. Fumble.
Looks like Prestonsburg got the fumble back. Got the ball back on the fumble.
Has it.
He hurdled one Prestonsburg player and ran into one of his own. Kind of lost the ball on that.
As Chris Smiley with the interception, a nice return.
I don't know whether Prestonsburg will keep the ball or whether they'll turn it over on downs. Okay, Prestonsburg will get the ball back 1st and 10. It is actually better than a punt for them on that play.
You're exactly right, as Prestonsburg on the 49. 4:33 remaining. 1st and 10, they trail 39-0. Chris with wide outs to the right. McDonald with the catch, and we'll get about 3 yards on the play. Ball on the 49, 2nd and 7. It's on the Pikeville 49. Chris from the shotgun. Rolls right, pulls it in. Now he is just swarmed under back at the 45.
Again, the Pikeville defensive rush has just been on him all night long. He's not had a chance to throw the ball at all from a stationary position. He's had to, like I say, run for his life and throw off the run for anything that he's gotten.
As really, you're right, he's had no help from his line all evening. Has never been able to stay in the pocket.
Oh, the fatigue factor is getting him right here. His legs are getting out from underneath him. He's not been able to stand still and throw from scrambling.
Flares it out. It's complete to Smith, and he's dropped down at about the 46. As Kyle Shepard.
Barry, that might have been the first look he got from a pocket all evening.
He got rid of the ball quickly. It's spotted on the 46, the Pikeville 46. They lead this game 39-0 over the Prestonsburg Black Cats. We're under the 3-minute mark. Chris gets it off to Hank Mullins, looking for room down the right side. Gets good yardage across the 45 down to about the 43.
Looks like Pikeville will take over on downs. The sidelines, they can feel it over here. They know this one's over. They're starting to celebrate.
Pikeville will take over on downs, as Charlie said, and Pikeville knows this one is pretty much in hand. That's going to do it for Matt Branham for the evening, as Don Paul Branham, the new quarterback. Bell with good yardage and pushed out of bounds at the 40. So Don Paul Branham now running the offense for the Panthers. Right up the middle. Official timeout as one of the Panthers shaken up on the play. And with that, let's take a short break and we'll be right back. Right back to me. I have to wait till the kid gets up. We don't want it on film. Smith looking for running room on the right side. Nothing there as he's dropped behind the line. We're under 2 minutes. Pikeville leads this one over Prestonsburg 39-0. Ball on the back. It's moved back to the 46. I'll bring up a 2nd and 15. Again, not Matt Branham in, but that's Don Paul Branham, the quarterback. Pikeville is, and pitch back is mishandled by Smith, and he swarmed under back at the 35. Big loss.
Just kind of a little bit of
Of course, you got to remember too that Pikeville's just about emptied their bench. They've got everybody in the game now.
Exactly, all clean uniforms in there for the Pikeville Panthers, and good move there, him falling on the ball.
Yeah, he'd already lost enough yardage. No use to try to pick that one up. Just fall down on it and take what you got.
This will probably be the last play of the game, as it's a 3rd and 30. Don Paul Branham with the fumble, and who has it, Charlie?
Looks like Prestonsburg may
Prestonsburg recovers. With 11 seconds remaining, Prestonsburg has recovered the fumble. $39-0. Prestonsburg with one opportunity here to avert the shutout. Handoff off the right side, and that's going to do it, as your final score will be, well, clock stopped. 0.8 of a second. Prestonsburg asked for a timeout.
Barry, all they can do here is just throw it and pray.
I'm sure they'll just throw it towards the end zone, as this one was pretty much decided early. from the shotgun. Dumps it off to the right side, and that's going to do it. Your final score is the Pikeville Panthers 39, Prestonsburg Black Cats nothing. As Pikeville will even their record to 1-1. And fellas, to wrap this one up shortly, in a short manner, Charlie, it was pretty much they had both the running game and the passing game going tonight, as Pikeville much improved from the team we saw last week.
Yeah, Pikeville looked a lot better tonight. They had their timing down and everything. They didn't have the jitters. You know, I think Prestonsburg may have had some of the first game jitters and everything like that. And Pikeville, like I say, just played a lot better. I'm going to walk over and see if I can get a talk with Coach McNamee for just a second here, and when he gets done talking to Prestonsburg's coach.
Okay, let's keep it right with you and see if we can get an interview with Coach McNamee.
They're still talking about it. You know, let them get their pleasantries over with. Let's see if I can they're discussing to see how they want to talk about it here. There's 4 of them deciding who wants to talk or what they're going to do, since they're going to do it on committee.
Okay. Well, maybe Charlie can grab someone down there. As
we're trying our best here. They've not really decided what they're going to do, I don't think.
Okay, we have a most valuable player trophy presentation. And it will go to Barrett Rogers.
Oh, well, that was kind of an easy pick on that one, Barry.
I think so. As Barrett Rogers wins the most valuable player trophy.
Yeah, well, 4 touchdowns and the 2-point conversion he had. Tremendous showing tonight.
As Pikeville, with a good combination of being able to run the ball and pass the ball, and if you have both of those, if you in those areas, if you have success with both of them, then you're going to win some ball games. As Pikeville showed tonight, very impressive win over the Prestonsburg Black Cats, as we still have Charlie Penson down on the field trying to get someone.
A lot of team unity here. I think that the coaches really don't know what to do themselves. You know, they know there's a controversy here, and they don't want to spread it any farther. None of them is talking to any of the press right now. Coach McNamee is now talking to the players. I'm going to try one more time. I think he might talk to us here in a minute. If we maybe split them up, let one go to one reporter and one go to another, maybe we'll get comments from all of them.
Okay, I'm sure that once you do get the chance to explain to him that we simply want his take on this game, then that they would talk with us, and we will learn more about the controversy here on Monday. It appears, though, Charlie, as if Coach McNamee is addressing the team.
Yeah, he is right now. I don't know if they're going to come back out or not. He said he might speak to us in a second. He told me, you know, while I was off the air there for a second, while they were giving out the trophy.
But Barrett Rogers doing a fine job here tonight, as Jeremiah Akers.
Chase Gibson did too.
And Chase Gibson. The entire Panther team played well tonight.
Yeah. They look like they played a little bit more under control than Prestonsburg did.
Well, again, last week against the Panther team, I probably saw what I consider one of the best players in the state in Bobby LaFew of Boyle County, as that kid is tremendous. Again, the Panther team still meeting around the 50-yard line. And I'm sure discussing this game, and we'll get one of the coaches here. Hopefully we can get Coach McNamee.
Looks like they're coming together to break it out, and maybe we can get one of them after they're done talking to the players here.
As it is, we have several members of the media down trying to get interviews. We have our own Charlie Pinson down there, and hopefully we can grab one.
All right, I've got Coach McNamee here. Mac, they've been coaching by committee. I think we're going to split them up. One's going to go one way, and one's going to go the other. And we're going to ask him, what's your take on tonight's game, Mac?
I thought our kids played extremely hard. They came out. I think they were focused on the task at hand and really did a good job playing football tonight.
You did a nice job over the week off, everybody together, getting kids ready. You had a tough game last week against a real tough team, but it just shows you can bounce back and make some changes that need to be made.
Yeah, I think so. We had a real good week of practice. The kids got together after the game last week and focused on what we needed to do to beat Prestonsburg, and it couldn't have been a better week of practice, and I'm just real proud of them, the effort they gave tonight, played our assignments better, taking care of our responsibilities better, and just overall better effort by everyone.
Your offensive line did a much better job blocking tonight than they did last week, and you got a lot more protection for your quarterback and your run.
Yeah, that's something Coach worked on all week, and he really stressed with our offensive line and our backs coming out of backfield blocking, and they worked on that this week, and it was evident tonight that we came out and we blocked real well.
Well, congratulations on your first win of the season for the Pikeville Panthers, not just for you, but and hope everything else works out for you this week.
All right, thanks, Charlie.
See you, Mac.
Thanks, Charlie, for that interview, and we appreciate Coach McNamee talking with us. And for Joe Adkins, Charlie Pinson, and Brian Lee on camera, your final score, 39-0, Pikeville with a big win over Prestonsburg. I'm Barry Boyd, and thank you for joining us on the Intermountain Sports Network. We read